In this video, we're going to be giving you an update on some of the most memorable couples from 90 Day Fiance. Who's launched a big musical career? And will it last? Who's gone from gold digger to breadwinner? And what's this about almost being killed by a crazy fan? Okay, so Paul and Karine are, in my opinion, the definition of toxic. In a show that has made a name for itself for basically putting one bad relationship after another on air for everyone to see, these two are basically the poster child of bad relationships. So their story began back in 2017 in the forests of Brazil. One of the first memories we saw of the couple was Paul requesting that Carini took a pregnancy and STD test.
I wanted to ask Carini to get an STD and pregnancy test when I was ready. Now it's completely blown up in my face. I haven't told Carini about the STD test. I've been burned so many times in the past. It's just to make sure there's no surprises.
So needless to say, he clearly had some trust issues. And then we also learned that he had in fact been lying about his past and that he was a convicted felon, having served jail time for both second-degree arson and burning personal property to defraud an insurer. But that was just the tip of the iceberg. Their relationship kept on going downhill, so much so that they ended up getting restraining orders against each other. In fact, things got so bad between them that at one point, back in July 2020, Paul live streamed one of their major blowouts and shared it for the world to see on Instagram. According to celebrity blogger Perez Hilton, the argument started when Paul allegedly found text messages on Carini's phone to a lawyer discussing divorce and child support. Paul said that when he confronted her about it, she became angry and things blew up. Cops were called in and Paul then revealed that he had a Child Protective Services case against Carini. Okay, all sounds kind of strange, but then get this. Paul says that he'd installed secret cameras in the house and he had footage of her pushing down their 1-year-old child. And then to make things even worse, Paul claims that when Carini left their home with their son, she went to another man's house to drink beer with him. But there's always two sides to every story, and Carini's point of view was totally different. In fact, her official statement taken from her court documents said, quote, "I am terrified he will hurt me or hurt my son because I ran away from him, and I'm even afraid to go back to Brazil now because he can go to Brazil and hurt us." That is a very serious allegation, and many fans were quick to take her side. But get this, as far as serious accusations go, Paul's got a few of his own. He claims that Carini ran off to live with a crazed fan who apparently told her to bring up charges against Paul, plotted to have him killed, and even advised her to abort their second child, with whom she was pregnant at the time. Now, I've got to stress, he hasn't provided any evidence at all for these claims, and the story does seem very far-fetched, but it's far from over because, get this, in a complete about turn, Carini then took back her accusations of domestic violence and posted a following video on Instagram saying, quote, "Hello everybody, I'm here to apologise about the accusations about Paul, they are false." She went on to explain that it was all due to a misunderstanding with her translator, and she ends the video by saying, I'm sorry Paul." I mean, honestly, what the heck? So, I don't know about you, but after all that drama, I'd be more than ready to pack my bags and leave, for good. But, believe it or not, this couple is still together, having once again reunited. They're now a happy family of 4 after Carini gave birth to their second son in February of 2021. But wait, there's more. Given the numerous rumours that Carini has cheated on him, and with photos of Carini allegedly from a sex tape floating around the internet since at least 2018, I think most men in Paul's situation would probably want to double check if the kids are actually his, right? Perhaps that explains why Paul asked for the DNA test the first time around with the birth of their first son, Pierre. And perhaps that's why he's also requested it this time for the birth of their second child as well. After Pierre's birth, they didn't actually end up getting that DNA test. But with the birth of child number 2, Carini has finally agreed to it. And look, in what can, I guess, only be a good idea in Paul's mind and no one else's, he announced that he was going to live stream the DNA test results of both children on OnlyFans by March of 2021. But, well, months later and we're still waiting for those test results. I think that's probably for the best, don't you? And is it really a good idea to be making money by streaming your kids' paternity tests? I'll let you be the judge on that one.
I had to wait for OnlyFans to get approval on it. We'll be doing a live stream. We gotta get the results to get back. The results should be back around mid-March. So we're gonna do a live stream on the results, and once everybody can see that, yes, both children are mine. I hope there's no surprises.
Speaking of OnlyFans, yes, Paul and Karine are officially on the adult content platform. And oh boy. Carini posted a poll asking if fans would like for her to post a video of her and Paul doing the deed, to which fans reacted with, well, mostly horror. They recorded and posted it anyway, charging $100 for the video, until someone leaked it online and Paul got mad, threatening to sue. Meanwhile, fans are left wondering whether he even has a job or if he's just trying to use Carini's OnlyFans to make money. For now, the couple seems to be happy, and considering all the struggles they've faced and the 2 miscarriages and at least 4 separations they've gone through, I really hope they're in a better place. But something tells me, if their track record is anything to go by, there's likely to be more drama with these 2. Moving on. Now, who can forget Chelsea and Yamir from season 2? Even back then, in the early days of the show, it was very clear that the pair were on very different wavelengths. I mean, the pair clearly wanted very different things from their relationship. Ymir had his heart set on living in a big city, and he was hoping to one day live the life of a high-profile musician. After all, he was already sort of a big deal in his home country of Nicaragua, where he'd made a name for himself as a rapper and a reggaeton star. And it was back in Nicaragua where he first met Chelsea while she was volunteering with the Peace Corps. In a scene straight out of a movie, Ymir was performing on stage with his band, Chelsea was in the audience, they locked eyes, and the rest was history. He became smitten, and not long after he was taking the plunge for love and moving to the US to marry Chelsea. Now, Ymir was hopeful that he could just hit the ground running and continue his music career in the US. But the only problem was, Chelsea lived in a small town in Illinois, and that wasn't exactly known for its music scene. And he didn't exactly know too much English, which really didn't help.
What's the next step? A rural town in Illinois? He's heading to the Midwest in the United States of America for a Latino who doesn't speak any English. This is a serious situation.
But Ymir was persistent. In fact, he was so determined to pursue his dreams that the whole situation began causing a rift between him and his wife. Chelsea wanted them to stay living rent-free with her parents. And to be fair to her parents, they were really supportive about the relationship, which is pretty rare for 90 Day Fiance. They were more than happy to provide financial support until the pair found their feet. But as it turned out, Ymir was eventually signed to a music label in Chicago. But there was a catch. They wanted him to move there to try and get better opportunities.
There's not that many people in Galesburg doing what you're doing.
Yes. The producer tell me que I need living in Chicago.
And Chelsea wasn't exactly happy about this, as she was convinced that they couldn't afford it. But being the dutiful and loving wife, she supported her husband, made the move, and soon enough Ymir released his first single, Party Love, with Chelsea even starring in the music video as his love interest. And Chelsea also found employment as an elementary school teacher. Sounds like a happily ever after, doesn't it? Well, sadly not. Soon after that video was released, the couple got divorced. That was in November of 2016, and it kind of baffled everyone. For example, one of their co-stars, Jason Hitch, gave an interview to Radar Online saying, quote, "We're all scratching our heads. The guy was totally in love with her and she with him. There has to be something fishy." And for years, with no real comment from either party, fans just assumed that Ymir's need for a big musical career and Chelsea's preference for a more homely lifestyle just ended up grating on each other. That was until this year. Now, we may never know the full real truth behind the breakup, but Chelsea did confirm on 90 Day Bears All that she's actually bisexual.
That I identified as being bisexual.
And that the divorce allowed her to explore her sexuality more deeply. While Chelsea clarified that her orientation wasn't what initiated their breakup, she did say that it was definitely part of her journey. And for what it was worth, Ymir was aware of it from the very start. Now, we can't really be sure if this was the cause of their relationship ending or if other factors were at play because the couple still haven't really spoken about it, but fast forward to today, Chelsea is now remarried to another man named Daniel who works as a helicopter mechanic. Meanwhile, after getting his green card, Ymir has been hitting the gym and is now a full-time musician in Chicago. The only problem is, I'm not entirely sure how well that's going for him or whether or not that's supporting him financially, because at the time of recording this video, his latest single, Fin de Semana, has under 4,000 views on YouTube, which isn't really a lot. He and Chelsea are still apparently on good terms and he says he has no ill feelings towards her. In fact, in a post on Instagram that he's since removed, he said, quote, "Just because two people aren't together any longer doesn't mean you cannot have a relationship with that person." Moving on, Brett and Daya. Brett and Daya captured the hearts of fans when they were introduced in season 2. Having just gone for a divorce, Brett was adamant that his decision to marry his Filipino lover was the correct one. The only problem was, every other lady in Brett's life didn't agree with him. For example, his mother straight out referred to her as a, quote, gold digger the very first time they met. And then there were issues between Dyer and Brett's ex-wife, who didn't like the way that Dyer interacted with her daughter, the then 6-year-old Cassidy. Who can forget when Cassidy locked Dyer out the house?
What are you doing? Cassidy, open up. You don't like someone.
Things got so bad that when they got married, Brett's mum was so sure that all Dyer wanted was her green card that she didn't even show up to the wedding.
I don't want you to be alone, but I just think you need someone who really has the same goals as you. And there are many red flags. What I've said to Brett today needed to be said, and I don't want him to get married.
I heard Brett's mom telling Brett that marrying me is a bad thing and that we're not good for each other. And she told Brett about red flags, reading all those things. Can't believe it.
But through it all, Dyer maintained a sort of unwavering devotion to Brett. And it kind of looks like his mum has had to eat humble pie, because not only is the relationship still going strong, it's actually now Dyer who's the sole breadwinner in their house. You see, Brett was actually unemployed for most of 2020, and it was Dyer's job as a medication technician at an assisted living facility that saved the family's finances. Now, there's no indication that Brett's mum ever changed her opinion on Dyer, but just to make sure we're all on the same page here, that's not something a gold digger would do, is it? The pair have also had their own child, a baby girl named Isabella, but unfortunately, Brett has revealed that Isabella faces some health challenges, although he hasn't revealed what those are. He is, however, very happy that the downtime of being unemployed gave him some time to truly bond with his daughter. We wish them all the very best. If you enjoyed this video, do me a favour, take 2 seconds to show your support by hitting that like button, and if you haven't already, please consider subscribing for lots more 90 Day Fiance videos. Thank you for watching, catch you on the next video.